Okay, welcome to the AE Macintosh channel. Thanks for watching as always, really appreciate it. Why not subscribe? Loads more on my channel about window cleaning, pressure washing, fascias, soffits, exterior cleaning, roof cleaning, all that stuff. But today I wanted to show you this fantastic pole I've been using just lately. This has got to be probably my favourite setup at the moment for window cleaning, water-fed pole, brush. I'll show you the whole thing. So I've been trying out a few different poles lately, and if you saw my video on the Gardner brushes, I tried out a load of different Gardner brushes, and this Supreme brush ended up being my favourite. So I went straight out and bought a Supreme brush with DuPont bristles. Absolutely fantastic, I really love it. Because you've got that reduced body there, there's less weight, and there's something incredible about the DuPont bristles. They're kind of softer to use on the window, but they scrub better. It's really difficult to describe, but I love the way the DuPont bristles work. And together with the swivel head, which I'm using here on the over 8 pole, it really helps the brush move so well around the window. The way the bristles splay out and get into the corners, there's less buffeting it around the brickwork and stuff like that. So that's totally my favourite brush at the moment, really loving it. And with the Gardner brushes, you can choose the type of jets you use. So you can use a fan jet capsule or pencil jet capsule. I'm actually using a 1.4mm jet, the smallest one you can get. And what I find is I can have my pump going at a much lower rate, but I can still have a nice strong jet. So I'm actually finding I'm using less water, so I'm saving water, so that's always a good thing. And I've been using this little tap on the top of my brush here. I wouldn't say it's as good as using a univalve. I've got a univalve in my 30-foot over 8, and because I've been swapping over poles so much, I didn't want to have to take all the univalve apart to get the hose out each time. So I've been using this, and it's much easier to swap over. And because it's this nice neat little pole, it's actually quite a good little way of just, you're working closer to the brush head a lot of the time. I mean, you have to collapse the pole in order to then turn the water off, so that's why I say it's not as good as a univalve where you can just tug the bottom of the hose. But yeah, that's another option. Mostly I wanted to talk to you about this little Streamline over 8 22 foot, the smallest in the over 8 range. I've been using it for about 3 months or so now, on and off. When you first get a new over 8 pole, there'll be a little bit of resistance there at first when it's brand new. It just takes a couple of months for that to wear in. You can see mine now, it runs as smooth as anything. It's really great, and I love the way the clamps open and close so easily like that. I mean, when I'm working with it, as I collapse the pole again, I literally just bring the section down, close it with the palm of my hand there, and open the next one all in the same movement. So it makes it really quick and easy for opening and closing the pole, and I find it work really quick with it as well. So it's absolutely awesome. This is a carbon fibre, the one that I have here. You can tell if you open it all the way, the blue mesh there means that it's a carbon fibre. You can get a high mod version of this. I've got a 30-foot over 8 as well, which I've been using, and that's a high mod. There is quite a bit of flex in this pole, I would say. For this shorter one, I find it's ideal. The over 8 is absolutely in its element at this length. I absolutely love it in this size. I mean, if you are getting too much flex in the pole, what you can do is just extend the first section sort of part way, maybe 2/3, and then the second section just extend that 2/3 again. I mean, the more you overlap each section, that helps give you a bit of rigidity, but I mean, you're reducing the reach that you can reach if you need to extend it all the way. So I mean, you get a feel for it when you're using it, but that's just one thing to look out for. And the other little niggle that you can find with this pole is when it's completely collapsed, there's just a little bit of play there with the sections just move there when you're using it when it's closed like that. When you've got them extended, it's not a problem, you don't notice it. But I mean, there's no perfect pole out there in my opinion, but those little niggles are just minor compared to the massive pluses you get with this pole. I mean, I love the oval shape as well, and it gives you a certain grip on the pole as you're moving it around the window, so it makes it really nice to work with as well. It took me a while for the penny to drop, but I got into this idea that I didn't need to use a 30-foot pole all the time. If I was doing work where I didn't need that kind of length. So using a smaller, lighter pole was absolutely brilliant for just smaller work when I knew I was only going to need a smaller length of pole. So this 22 foot's been brilliant because I've been using an 18 foot recently of another brand, and what I found is when I get to a job that's got a window that's hard to reach, maybe the window's set back on a roof with a roof underneath, or there's a conservatory in the way, something like that, you know, the kind of thing, and you end up with an 18 foot pole. Sometimes it's a bit of a stretch with an 18 foot and there's not quite, you haven't quite got the length you need. So what I find with this 22 foot is that I can reach anything, ground floor and first floor. If there's a conservatory in the way, if it's set back on the roof, I know I can always reach it with this 22 foot. So that's one of the reasons why I really love this, and it's a really nice, neat little pole. It's got a really nice small collapsed length as well. So around domestic work, you know, when you're going down the side of the house and it's a real tight space, something like that, working between cars or in and around garden furniture, you know, there's always stuff in the way. But the nice neat little pole combined with the swivel as well means you can get into tight little spaces really easily to clean the window. So the pole isn't sticking out too far behind you, so you're not bumping into things or hitting things by accident, stuff like that. So the length of it there is just right for my grip and my stance. That's the perfect length for working with. And of course, I've mentioned before, there's so many different attachments on this pole. There's one little extension piece I always keep dead handy, because if I need that just little bit of extra reach, you can just slip that on there like that, so easy. And then I've got a little bit of extra reach that I need there, and I find that's my favorite one of those. The people at Over8 are working on more attachments all the time, so there's more and more stuff coming out, so look out for those. And I'll change the brushes over if I need to. I've got a couple of other brushes that I really like to use, like this one here with the Flox bristles. I love using this one for leaded windows. It's much softer on the glass. I think this has got to be my ideal setup at the moment for domestic work. This is the one I'm going for. Absolutely fantastic. Thanks for watching. Hope you found the video helpful. Hope you enjoy my channel and find lots of useful stuff there. And give the video a like. Why not subscribe? And I hope to see you again soon.